The market's starting to show signs of cooling. This is not the same market of 6 months ago. Now, the days of a buyer foregoing the home inspections are starting to go by the wayside. So today, we're going to talk about one of the issues that you may face if you're selling your home, and that's going to be repairs. And we're going to get started right now. Hi, my name is David Matney with Nebraska Realty. I'm a local realtor here in Omaha, Nebraska. Now let's jump into today's topic. Now, if you're selling your home, one of the more frustrating aspects of selling your home is dealing with repairs. Sometimes as a seller, it's best to tackle the problem just head on. In some cases, it's going to be painful either way. First, let's just talk about some upfront things. Now, if you're going to put your home on the market, the very first thing you need to do is have your furnace and AC cleaned and serviced by a qualified HVAC technician. And here's why. And you've heard this on many videos that I've done. I sound like a broken record, and that is, it's dad the deal killer. And then it's something that during the home inspection gets called out most frequently in terms of a home inspection. So just be upfront about it. That way, when that HVAC technician puts on that sticker on that furnace, it shows that prospective buyer that you do a great job of taking care of the property. The next thing you want to do is let's talk about smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors. You're going to want to have a carbon monoxide detector on each level of the home. That's a state law. It doesn't have to be hardwired or anything like that. You can go to Lowe's and simply buy the plug-in carbon monoxide detectors. Now, if you have smoke detectors, then it's just a good idea to put fresh batteries in those smoke detectors. Let's talk about things such as peeling paint, handrails, and tripping hazards. If you have any peeling paint, missing handrails, or anything that's a potential trip hazard over 1 inch, the best move is to be proactive and take care of it up front. Okay, peeling paint is a big issue for FHA and VA buyers. With FHA and VA, they have a thing called a VA and FHA appraisal. And they're a little more particular when they do those appraisals. Not much, but they want to make sure that the home is safe, sound, and secure. And peeling paint is one of those issues that you have to contend with. Now, in terms of peeling paint, okay, let's say you have a little bit of peeling paint around a window. Doesn't mean you have to paint the entire house. You just got to scrape and paint where it's peeling and take care of that. If it's a tripping hazard or let's say a missing handrail, just go ahead and take care of that up front, and for a couple of things. Number one, it won't get called out on the FHA or VA appraisal. And then number two, from a liability standpoint, you want to make sure that when someone's showing your house, let's say a buyer's going down the stairs, and if they trip and fall, you don't want to be liable if you have a missing handrail. So it's a safety issue. So you know eventually you're going to have to take care of it. Just do it up front. Same thing goes for any concrete tripping hazards. Just be proactive about it. Again, it has to be a substantial tripping hazard. I mean, there's always cracked concrete and that sort of thing, but you just want to be aware of that. Now, there's going to be some folks out there that go, you know what, I'm not going to sell my home to FHA or VA buyers because I don't want to mess with that stuff, okay? That's certainly an option. But here's the other thing too. When you say that your home is only available to cash and conventional buyers, that sends off a little bit of a red flag saying, hey, there might be some maintenance issues about the house. And then the other thing too, cash and conventional buyers, it's going to attract more investors, and investors always want something for nothing. And when you say cash and conventional only, you're shutting off an entire segment of the marketplace. As the market starts to cool, some of those buyers that were earlier in the spring that, would have liked to purchased a home FHA or VA, those folks were shut out. Now, if they can still qualify, they're going to come back into the marketplace. So you want to make sure your home is available to the largest pool of available buyers. Okay, let's talk about things that are maintenance items. For example, a roof is a maintenance item. Okay, roofs age. Buyers expect to have a home with a serviceable roof that doesn't leak. Replacing a roof may help sell a home faster, but it's not necessarily going to get you more money. However, if you have a roof that needs to be replaced, then what's going to happen is the buyer is going to subtract that cost of that roof and factor that into their offer for your particular property. And here's kind of what I mean. Let's say you have a property and you have a $250,000 home and the roof is 25 years old and it's showing signs of age and it's at the end of its useful life. A buyer might say, you know what, hey, I'm only going to offer $240 because I'll have to put on a roof myself. Here's the other thing that can happen. Sometimes they'll put the offer in for $250. It goes under contract. Then when they have the home inspection, then the inspector calls the roof. So you're stuck replacing the roof at that point. And then here's the other issue. And that is sometimes what'll happen is it'll go under contract. The home inspection's okay. But then the insurance company, when the buyer goes to get insurance, they say, hey, we'll give you insurance coverage, but we're excluding the roof. Well, that's not going to fly with their financing. So either way, one way or the other, eventually you're going to have to contend with that roof. And here's another scenario, and I've seen this happen before as well. So let's say you have, let's say a rental property, and a few years back you had a hail claim for it, and you got paid for the hail claim. But hey, the roof wasn't leaking, so you didn't replace the roof. Well, here's the deal. Now, when you go to sell it, guess what? That buyer, you owe that buyer a roof. The buyer's not going to be able to get insurance if there's a prior claim for that roof that, hasn't been taken care of. So eventually you're going to have to take care of that roof. Now, here's the other issue, and that is, let's say you might potentially have some hail damage. Do not call the adjuster first. Okay, if you think you could get the insurance company to pay for a new roof, the thing to do is to call a qualified roofing contractor first. Have the roofing contractor come out and say, hey, do I have any hail damage? Have them evaluate it first and then contact your insurance. In some cases, what you can have done is have the roofer come out and meet with the adjuster, and then those two can fight it out. But do not call the adjuster first. Now, if you really want to be proactive, the thing to do, the ideal scenario, is to have a pre-listing inspection done on the property. That way you can flush out all those issues up front. Because here's the thing, contracts fall apart for two reasons. Number one is the home inspection, and number two is the buyer's financing. And the way our contracts are written in Nebraska, that buyer has a 14-day window to conduct any and all inspections. Okay, so if the buyer gets cold feet, and let's say there's nothing wrong with your house, that buyer can still back out during that home inspection. And then here's the other thing too. In a super competitive market like we've been in, and let's say a buyer is going to forego an inspection, if you do a pre-listing inspection up front, it's going to give that buyer much more confidence in making a stronger offer, and it's going to also reduce your liability. Now, notice I said the key word reduce. It's never going to eliminate liability. It's going to help reduce liability in terms of if they decide not to do a home inspection. Now, buying a home is a lot of fun. Selling a home, not so much, because people come inside your home and they leave lights on and they leave doors open, and then they pick you apart in terms of your house. Now, as interest rates increase, you're going to see buyers being priced out of the market, and you're starting to see more buyers doing home inspections. And that's on purpose. They're trying to slow down the market. They're trying to get a hold of inflation. And it's a good thing, because here's the thing, the market that we've had the past 2 years, that is unsustainable. Okay, so they're trying to put the brakes on things, and it will slow things down. If you're going to be selling your home, you want to make sure that you're proactive about it. Now, hey, speaking of proactive, hey, go ahead and be proactive and subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell for notifications. And if you don't mind giving this video a thumbs up, I really appreciate it. And then, hey, be sure to check out this video next, and then make it a great day.